With just weeks to go before Ontario Liberals choose their next leader, there's a new development out of Queen's Park today, which could shake up the race. Richard Southern is standing by with the latest. Richard, what can you tell us?
Well, things got a lot more exciting in this Ontario Liberal leadership race. There's 4 candidates left. 2 of them I'm pleased to be joined with right here. Yasser Naqvi, Nate Erskine-Smith. They just held a joint news conference here out front of Queen's Park, FISA, and they are asking their respective supporters to, when they're voting in the next couple of weeks, to rank the other person second. This looks like a Stop the Bonnie Crombie effort, the frontrunner, is it?
It's a very competitive race that Ontario Liberal Party is going through. There are 4 good people running, but it's a ranked ballot, and all of us going to be ranking each other 1, 2, 3, and 4. And over the campaign, Nate and I have come to understand each other a lot and trust each other, and we have realized that our values are the same when it comes to how we revitalize our party, how we bring trust and accountability back at Queen's Park, and also the liberal values that guides us. And so once I made the decision that I will be marking Nate as my second choice, and he shares the same in terms of me, we thought that it's only fair that we be transparent. We let Ontario Liberal voters know as to how we will be voting in regards to each other, and encourage them to, of course, in my case, vote me number 1 and mark Nate as his second choice.
Well said, but Nate, this kind of looks like a last-ditch effort to stop Miss Crombie, is it not?
No, as I said, there's a good chance, if the election were tomorrow, that each of us, the 3 of us, would have a 33% chance of winning. It's anyone's game. And so when I think about the direction we want for our party, that's the first question Liberals have to answer. And the second question is, who's best placed to beat Doug Ford? Now, I think the answer to those questions is the same. And I've been on the road with Yasser for a very long time, and I've come to trust him. We have a strong relationship, and we have the same values. We want to see integrity in our politics. We share the same serious ideas around tackling the housing crisis and around making sure we have strong public health care and education. And ultimately, we share the relentless drive to rebuild relationships in every corner of this province. That's what we need in this party, and so I'm encouraging supporters, vote for us first and vote for Yasser second. That's how we are going to rebuild our party, ready to rebuild our province.
At the same time, you were clear just a minute ago here during this news conference that you have not been happy with everything Ms. Crombie's been saying in this race. I interviewed her a number of months ago, and she said, I want to bring the Liberal Party back to the center. You didn't like that comment.
It wasn't that comment that bothered me.
What comment was it?
It was the governing from the right of center is the secret sauce. That's a very different thing. I think the Liberal Party at its best is a principled and pragmatic party that delivers serious and credible ideas to improve people's lives. And it's less about hard left and a hard right situation, but governing from the right of center. The governments in my lifetime that have governed from the right of center have been deeply unambitious on housing and on climate. I don't want that lack of ambition in our politics. And when I have been on stage with Yasser, and I've heard him say we need principled leadership to challenge the status quo, I've lived that in 8 years in federal politics. We share that approach to politics. That's what we want in our politics collectively. So this is not about avoiding a different candidate. This is about how we work together to build our party to be the best version of itself.
Last question. I mean, obviously as Liberals, you guys want to beat the incumbent Mr. Premier Ford. The question is, who's best positioned to do that? Ms. Crombie seems to live rent-free in his head. He talks about Ms. Crombie all the time. Do you think one of you gentlemen are better positioned to beat Doug Ford than Ms. Crombie?
I've been saying from the beginning of this race that our leader has to stand in stark contrast to Doug Ford when it comes to our values, when it comes to our lived experience, when it comes to issues around trust and ethics. And I think Nate and I, either one of us, really do provide a clear alternative to the corrupt and failing government of Doug Ford, which is, I think, is really important for the Ontario Liberal Party as we head into the next election. And I really strongly believe that if our leader stands in stark contrast to Doug Ford and the ethical breaches that he continues to commit, we can defeat Doug Ford in 2026 and form a more principled, pragmatic Liberal government in our province.
Yasser Naqvi, Nate Erskine-Smith, thanks for joining us live on CityNews 24/7. Appreciate it very much. There is a 4th person in this race, and that is Liberal MPP Ted Hsu. He put a statement on his social media today, FISA, saying he wasn't interested in joining these 2 gentlemen. We do have to talk, FISA, about Miss Bonnie Crombie, the clear frontrunner here. She has put out a statement, and I want to show you part of it. Miss Crombie writing, quote, I know these two gentlemen spend a lot of time together on the federal Liberal backbenches, and I guess it makes sense they'd want to support each other. She goes on to say, quote, based on what I've heard, this agreement between them seems vague and unclear. This is not a delegated convention, and I'll be honest, I'm not really sure how their deal is going to work. Things getting interesting here, Faiza, in this race to be the next Ontario Liberal leader. The new winner, or the winner in this race, is going to be announced on Saturday, December 2nd.
Okay, Richard Southern, just weeks to go before Ontario Liberals choose their next leader. Thank you so much. And Richard will have more coming up tonight on City News at 5 and 6.